Hi there, and welcome back to our series on chords. So we've done a lot of work already. We have learned major chords, minor chords, and inversions. Now we're going to kind of do something a little different. We're going to learn about chord numbers. So knowing what the chord numbers are is important because then you can transpose to any key that you want to if you just know the chord number. Makes things very, very easy. So I'll show you what I mean inside the video. Every chord has a number in a particular key. So we are going to start simple like we usually do in the key of C, and we'll do a couple of different keys to show you what I mean. So the key of C, all right, so that is our key. We have no sharps and no flats in the key of C. So here's our C major and C minor chord. Now, we're going to start with C major for our key, and let's talk about our chord numbers. So in the key of C, our C chord is our 1 chord, okay? So that's our 1 chord. So it's going to be a Roman numeral 1 is what it looks like. Our 2 chord, remember we need to stay in the key signature. So our 2 chord is going to be a minor chord if we stay in the key signature, no sharps and no flats. Our 3 chord, see we're literally moving up the scale. Our 3 chord is also minor and it's an E minor chord. Our 4 chord, we're back to major and it's an F chord. Our 5 chord is G and it's a major chord. Our 6 chord is back to minor and it's an A minor chord. Our 7 chord does not get used very much. It's a diminished chord and we might address that later, but that's not anything you need to worry about yet. And then we're back to our 1 chord. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to 1. That is how we build the chords in a major key. Now that we know the chord numbers, let's talk about the most popular chords in a key. So the most popular chords are going to be, of course, your 1 chord, because that is where the piece is completely based, is your 1 chord. The 4 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5 chord. Those are the 3 major chords in a major key. So 1, 4, 5, those are going to be very, very important chords. Another important chord would be your 2 and your 6. Those are both minor chords. You might use a 3 on occasion. That one is not as popular, but mainly you're going to use 1, 4, 5, and then 2 and 6 are going to be your most popular, most used chords. So how would we use this in a song? How does this work? So let's say we're going to start with C. And watch this. We're going to go from C to our 6 chord, to our 4 chord, to our 5 chord. Does that sound familiar? What if I did this? So that is the chord progression for heart and soul. So that is just one example of a chord progression that uses some of the chords that we talked about. So we're going to do a little bit more with that in another video, working on popular chord progressions and different things like that. But for now, work on your chord numbers in different keys. Let's look at another key to determine the chord numbers. Let's do the key of D. So in the key of D, D major, so we have our 1 chord. Let's do our 1, 4, 5. Here's our 4 chord and our 5 chord. Those are all major. So back to 1. And then we want our 2 chord and our 6 chord. So those are both our minor chords. Okay, so 1, 4, 5, and then of course 1, and then we have our 2 chord and our 6th chord. So practice finding different chords in different locations on the piano and figure out what the chord number is. So decide what key, what note is going to be root. If it's going to be D or A or G, any of those, decide what your root chord is and then build your chords, your chord numbers, and the major and minor chords accordingly. So why do we need to know what the chord numbers are? Well, as you could see in the key of C and the key of D, the actual chords themselves looked different, even though we had the same major chords and the same minor chords. But if we were to take the example of heart and soul that we did in C, let me play it in C again. What if we wanted to play that in D instead? Okay, so now we know we need our 1 chord, our 6 chord, our 4 chord, and our 5 chord. We know those are the chords we need, so let's figure them out. So here's our 1 chord. Now we need our 6 chord. So our 6 chord is going to be B minor. Our 4 chord is going to be G major. And our 5 chord is going to be A major. So you could play heart and soul in D instead, like this. Because you knew the chord numbers, it made it that much easier. So that is called transposing. When we take the key of one thing, of a particular song or piece, and we transpose it, we change it to a different key, but we keep all of the chords and intervals and everything the same. That's what transposing is. And that is one of the main reasons why it's important to know your chord numbers. You are well on your way to being a chord master. My goodness, so far you know what your major and minor chords are and how to build them. We've worked on inversions for those chords, and then now you know what your chord numbers are, so you can transpose any song or piece into the key that you want it in. If there's a song that's a little bit too high or a little bit too low for your voice, you can find a comfortable key, figure out what the chord numbers are, and then you could play it in a different key that is more comfortable. I'm so excited to continue this series with you. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I would love it if you would leave me a comment. I love hearing from you. So if you have a question or would just like to say hi, I would love that. I'll see you in the next video.